Hi guys, welcome back to Farm Up with me, Dr. Daniel, the passionate farmer. And today is day 4 of brooding. Most of our brooding has been uneventful, and I love that. Uneventful doesn't mean that something is not happening. It simply means we're not having bad things happening to us. And that's beautiful. I remember the very last flock I had, not the current one, but the last one I had, the brooding was pathetic. I had birds coming from Hungary, and in the first 4 days, I believe I had lost more than 300 chicks. So I know that brooding can go horribly pathetic, horribly pathetic. So luckily enough for me, it hasn't gone horribly pathetic, and we're doing really well. Today is day 4, and it's a bright day. Today is not it's not a terrible day. The weather is not terrible outside. So since it's been a bit hot, we've saved in terms of warming the house, because that means it's not as cold and you don't need to heat up the house as much. Most of the time during the day, you actually don't need to put a lot of heating. So we're going to start with going through our data, and today I should just take you guys through the book that we actually record our daily recordings, because some people actually don't know how to take recordings every day, because you need to make sure you take these recordings. Of course, the recordings you take during brooding will be different from the recordings you take during production. During brooding, you have other things that you need to pay attention to. So let's take a look at it. So this is our book, as you might see. This is our farmer guide for the weights, the target weights. For example, during brooding, let's say this is week 1, aging week 1, aging days, 0 to 7 days, how much feed the birds need to take. Our average was 11. And I think I told you guys. Then the body weights over here. So it has a table for the expected weights. It has our vaccination schedule. So on day 7, we expect to be doing our vaccine, but I think we're going to do ours on day 6, just to make sure that, we prepare for any eventualities. I think we shall do ours on day 6. On day 1, as you can see, our vaccines were Merex, Newcastle IB, and Gumboro. So we're waiting for day 7, but we shall do ours on day 6, and it will be in drinking water. And I'll show you guys that. Inside here, we have another table for production. Behind here, we have our locations as Farm Up, and, the summary of what you expect from the bird. Okay? And this is where the guys are taking our recordings. So as you can see, we have our date over here. This was simply to show the guys what they'll be doing. Then aging days. So of course the first week will be week 1. This is aging week, sorry. So of course the first week will be week 1. Then week 2 will start on the 18th. We received 2,613 birds. And the starting date is certainly here, 11th December. So this is day 1 of receiving our birds. Then the feed in weight that's given to the birds, it's recorded over here. Then our mortalities, as you can see, on day 1 we had 14, 12, 8. They're certainly decreasing, and I've already told you why we have a high mortality. It's because we didn't sort the birds, and that's expected. And then our total number of birds, and then average weight. So what will happen is that at the end, on the 7th day of every week, which is the 17th over here, we'll take the average weight of the birds. So once every week, we take the average weight of the birds, so that we make sure we are within our limit over here. As you can see, we have an average body weight. So we need to make sure we are within 64 and 67 for average weight. If we are not, then we need to change something. Then of course the medications that are given daily are also recorded here. So this is the recording for the first week, and we need to record all this throughout production every day. So this record book is super important. So let's now get in and take a look at the birds. Our usual disinfection, and let's go check out the birds. Woo! Here we go. The activity is way higher. Take a look at this. Yeah. So I've been talking from the other side, so that's why the birds are all skewed to this side, and you can see the birds are way more active right now. Let's get down and we'll see them coming towards us. Yeah, way more active. Look at them. Look at them. Really cool. Way more active, and you can see our feed down on the floor. Yeah, so the food has been dispersed down on the floor. Of course there is wastage. That one cannot be refuted. You can see all the birds running towards me right now. So they have left the other side simply because I'm talking. Yeah, and of course there is some wastage. All the birds are now surrounding me, but this wastage is important because you need to make sure the food is available everywhere. You will see some birds feeding even right now. well, most of their attention is on me right now. But some birds will feed at any time, so you need to make sure the feed is available everywhere. I believe I've explained that enough. So here are pan feeders, here are the drinkers. The guys are going to take out some of the drinkers. We want to wash some of the drinkers. Take a look at our stoves over here, and the stoves have very little heat. Very little heat, because it's been a sunny day, so we didn't really need to put a lot of fire inside the stoves to maintain the heat on the inside over here. And it's really loud when the birds are running here because of the pepper. So today is the last day we are having our brooder pepper inside here, because now the birds certainly do know what food is, and it's not a problem. We're not worried. My colleague over there in the background, you can see, is picking up some of the drinkers. So we're going to be washing the drinkers right here. It's close by, yeah? Like I told you guys, the drinkers need to be washed at least twice every day, every 12 hours. So we need to get the drinkers washed to make sure that the water that is being supplied to the birds is clean. Because if you take a closer look, even right now, some of the drinkers have dirt inside them. Because as the birds are running around, they'll scratch, they'll step on the water, and the drinkers will get dirt inside them. So you need to make sure the water is cleaned twice every day to ensure that you avoid infection that comes from the water, because the birds will drop their droppings inside the water and they'll take that very same water. So yes, tomorrow we are going to get out this brooder pepper, and it's certainly going to be more quiet in here. And then maybe after 2 or 3 days, we shall expand the brooder. But let's just go and take a look at the washing process for the drinkers. We're having our drinkers washed over here. So we have a basin over here with our water, simply to remove the dirt. No need to use detergent or things like that, really. It's simply to remove the dirt. And then over here, we have water that actually has our glucose and vitamins. Okay, so you can see the water is being put in a drinker over here. So washing done over here, cleaned up, simply to remove the dirt. That's all. And then the water is placed inside the drinker over here, and then he's going to take it in. I think you can take the water, right? Okay. So he's turned the water from here, which is certainly not a correct thing, because if you turn the water from here, while you move it, as you can see, the way he's moving it, you need to be really careful, or else it will pour. The easier option, or the better option, is simply to carry it in this position and you turn it right from there. So you'll notice that it's very important that every time you move in, you disinfect your feet. Okay, so let's get in. And okay, so he's turned it. So when it's going down, you turn it over. You don't turn it when you're moving with it like he did, because moving it becomes complicated and it's easy to spill water. And remember, we are trying to avoid spilling of water. So the guys are going to continue and bring the drinkers inside here. Don't forget our main things that we look at during brooding. Number 1, heating. Number 2, lighting. So you need to make sure there is light 24/7. You need to make sure that there is heat 24/7 so that the birds are not cold. Because if the birds are cold, they're going to spend most of the time trying to climb together and to get warm instead of feeding and gaining weight. If they don't feed and they don't gain weight, there are particular targets that you have. You have particular target of weight by week 5. You have another target of weight by point of lay. If you haven't reached those weights, then your production is going to be terrible all throughout. My birds on the other side are actually about 50 weeks right now, and they are still laying in the 90s. The percentages are in the 90s. It's not a very common occurrence for a lot of farms. So I know that we raise the birds well, and these are the simple factors, you know, raising the birds well. So heating, if the heat is enough, the birds will be well distributed. They're not going to be spending their energy trying to gain weight, and then they're going to be able to eat. They're going to be able to move around and eat. Also, you need to make sure food is present 24/7. You need to make sure water is present, and clean water 24/7. If those things are catered for and you don't have a lot of stress, trust me, your birds are going to do really well, and you're going to be a happy farmer just like me. I'm curious to know, if you're a poultry farmer and you've done brooding before, what's the hardest problem that you've faced during brooding? I would like to tackle this in my video tomorrow, just to talk about the problems that people commonly face, because I might be in my own world and I don't understand what people go through. I'm talking about things this side, but people have other challenges. I could be willing to tackle them in a video, maybe tomorrow. So tell me some of the challenges you guys go through. I'll read through them in the comment section, and then in my video, my next video, I'll make sure I tackle them so that I understand the problems you guys go through and how you can go around them. I'll give a few solutions. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell, that way you never miss out on an upload. Lots of love. Bye-bye.